Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win. Room 442, Monday's podcast. James Sharman, Sarah Peraria here with you. It's love or hate today. And you know what, Sarah? Given that there's so much crap in the world right now, let's keep it positive to start with. Let's do a whole block just on love. Things that we found from this weekend's football action, specifically the Premier League, but we can go elsewhere if you want a little bit. Things we found that just brought the love to our footballing fandom. Okay, so let's start with you. What's your first sentiment of love from this weekend?
Luton Town. How about them? I know they lost in the end. I told you this was going to be a 1-0 stinker, right?
Word.
But you know what? They managed to get a draw out of Liverpool the previous week. They lost 1-0 to United, but I think outplayed them for the most part. And they just, like, it's really like a touching story, you know, them coming up, their stadium, all the work they had to put in. I think they'll still probably get relegated, but I'm really happy to see them playing good football and competing with the top teams in the Prem. Like, that was an unfortunate loss for them.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably go down, but they'll go down with a fight.
Yeah.
This team doesn't quit.
Exactly.
And they're getting more organised under Rob Edwards. And could you imagine if Lindelof hadn't have scored, what we'd be talking about this morning? We said that, you know, listen, if Man United don't win that game, Ten Hag's fired.
Yeah.
Right? They found a way to win it, but the performance was not great once again.
Yeah.
I don't know whether do you think it makes him more secure or less secure because of the win?
I don't know, because I don't think they've had one convincing win this season. So that's the thing. I think it's like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole right now. They're like, it's fine. We won, you know, like it's okay until, you know, we'll see what happens after the international break. They have a must-win game against Galatasaray. Are they not playing Chelsea? They're playing.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
they've got big games coming up though. It's tough
their schedule. I think they have Villa up there too. Like, they have a really tough schedule coming up, and so international break always messes with each team, as it would. Lots of travel for these players, so I can't imagine it's going to do anything good for Man United as well. But yeah, I'm not convinced at all, and I almost think if they lost, it might have been better. Like, let's just deal with the situation.
You know what? Their schedule coming up after the break. They're playing at Everton.
Okay.
Not easy now.
No.
Everton are playing much better. Yep. Then it's Galatasaray. Then they're at Newcastle.
Get out.
Yeesh. Then they take on Chelsea, who we'll get to shortly. Then it's Bournemouth. Then it's Bayern Munich. Then it's Then it's Liverpool. Then West Ham, Villa. There's tough games coming up here.
No, they have what? Maybe the Bournemouth game being the easiest one out of the last 7 of those. Yeah. Man. I really just am curious of, like, is it just easier if they were to have lost and they would have just, you know, done what they needed to do? Are we prolonging a situation here? I mean, with that schedule, I wouldn't be shocked if, they go back into their losing kind of cycle.
Well, not to mention Jim Ratcliffe will, by that point, have his investment in the team. It's going to happen any day now.
Yeah.
He's got plans, big plans. He's probably waiting for an excuse to push those plans forward. And I know he hasn't, it's like 25%, but he wants full control at some point. What does a new owner generally do? He brings in his people. And you got to think, there's your excuse, a poor run of form by Ten Hag. I don't know who's lined up to replace Ten Hag.
Oh, that's a whole other question.
It's still a big job. It's still one of the great jobs in world sport. It's Manchester United. There'd be coaches lining up for that, you would think.
I don't know, because they haven't really figured it out since Fergie, which was how many years ago now?
2013, right?
It's 10.
10 years, yeah.
It's 10 years. All these, Jose Mourinho, Eric Ten Hag, Ole.
Louis van
Gaal.
At least he won something, Louis van Gaal. Won some trophies.
Name? That's Coach
Ralph Rangnick.
Oh my God, I forgot about Ralph Rangnick, and that was last year. No, who was, he's coaching the Premier League.
David Moyes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, like, there's been so many coaches coming in and out, and we've also seen coaches that have left United and done decently well somewhere else. So it's like,
it's interesting, right? Because I think we discussed this recently. The whole Moyes, it wasn't given a chance there because everyone assumed that the next guy would just replace Sir Alex Ferguson. They'd keep winning, keep being a dominant team. But they fired him really early. In comes Van Gaal, and he won a couple of trophies, but still didn't get the job done. And then after that, it's one manager after another. I think it had people realize what a big job it was to replace Sir Alex Ferguson. They may have had more patience for the guy that Sir Alex Ferguson handpicked to replace him. in David Moyes, who's doing a pretty good job right now at West Ham.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but we'll keep our eyes on United naturally. But yeah, love to Luton for sure.
Yeah, good for them. I'm with you.
Good for them.
They're in the bottom 3, but only just.
Yeah.
They're not in the basement.
And let's remind ourselves, we are only about a third way through the season just now. Like, we are not, I don't even think we're at a third yet. We're passing match day 12. There's 38 games.
Yeah.
We're not even at a third yet. Let's see what happens.
What minute will be a third way through the season next match day? Did the math?
No. 33. If it's 90, about
I don't know.
a third through that game. No.
But yeah, when does it suddenly become no longer early? What match day? 15? 20?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think February is always really fun. What match day would that end up being? Probably like early 20s, somewhere in there. And
February? You think so? That late is no longer early?
No, but February is also, like, February is when it gets real. Because it's now like you're getting tired. You have to maintain consistency. You know, there's the international breaks. Champions League round of 16 starts if you're in there. FA Cup starts getting real interesting. So, I mean, February is a telling time. Liverpool always do this in February. They just say, and then it's whether or not they come back or not. But there are so many teams that I just feel like it's not necessarily that's the not early anymore, but that's going to be like the telling time.
Yeah, you get through the chaos of the Christmas festive period, right?
Yes.
And then you have the FA Cup weekend, I think the first weekend of January. And then it's not an international window I'm not sure, but you're right. February is when they get these really odd results.
Yeah.
Strange results, and the pack starts spreading out, because right now the pack is so tight.
Yeah.
And that's one of my love, is just the table right now.
Oh, yeah.
And just how tight this thing is. I mean, it's brilliant. Generally speaking, by this point, there's some gaps emerging at both ends. At the top, you got Man City, a point up on both Liverpool and Arsenal. Spurs in 26, a point up on Villa. And now there's a slight gap there. So 5 teams right now, forget who they are right now. 5 teams are in the hunt for a championship at this point, 12 games into the season. You can say Villa's very much in a title race. It's fair to say. They're just 3 points back at first place. That's great. And then you got the other European spots. You know, Man United. You got Newcastle down to 7th now. Disappointing. Brighton dropped points again this weekend.
Talk about Brighton.
3 times have they cost me in 4-4-2 picks in recent weeks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Chelsea are in the top 10. I'm actually a bit shocked that United are just 6th.
It seems that they should be lower down, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know Newcastle behind them, only 1 point behind, but like, I nearly would have put them at 8th if I was basing off, the results and the.
And that's the problem with United, though, because the narrative around them is this gong show, they're imploding, but they're still United. They've still got good players.
Yeah.
They're still getting points, which is why they're where they are on the table, which is, by their high standards, not great. But yeah, they're not exactly mid-table or languishing in the relegation spots. They're still Manchester United. They're still an okay team.
Yeah.
Just we expect so much from them. So yeah, the table I think is great right now. Hopefully it continues. At the bottom, of course, the bottom 3 are your promoted teams, and then there's a slight gap forming there, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's brilliant. I think it's the tightest race in Europe right now, or close to it.
Yeah.
With a number of teams within 3 or 4 points of first place.
No, I love it. It's great. It absolutely is great. But the thing is, international break usually is more advantageous for those lower teams because they don't have as many players going. So anytime there's a match day after international break, it's always very curious to see. So maybe we could see some lower level teams take advantage in a couple of weeks.
First game bet, though, is Man City Liverpool. Out of the break.
That is
Klopp is not happy about that.
I wouldn't be happy about that. I mean, if I'm Pep too, your whole team's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone. I mean, just Liverpool as well.
Well, not far off. I mean, Klopp went off on this, saying it's ridiculous. What do you want from us?
Yeah.
With this great race, the 2 teams that play so much football, and you got this early game on the Saturday after the international break.
The 7:30.
I believe it's the 7:30. Let me just confirm that. Misconfirm that.
They don't love us. They do not love us. The Premier League. No, I mean, to be fair, we spoke about Tottenham's schedule of late has been so demanding. But yeah, these kind of games.
The early one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the early one. I don't know. These kind of games are, blockbuster. It's certain games you wait for in the Premier League. Everyone's going to watch it, whether you're a City fan, a Liverpool fan, or a neutral. If you're a football fan, you're watching that. And yeah, you kind of know that's already going to be like, I'm going to see 7 VAR calls. There's going to be someone sent off. Someone's going to go off injured. Like, it's just going to be a mess rather than potentially like some of the best football you could see.
Well, and having seen what we saw this weekend, which let me jump ahead for my second love. And that is Cole Palmer. of Chelsea, formerly of Man City, in that 4-4. One of the best matches I've seen for a long time. It's one of the all-time classics, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
All those lead changes. And Cole Palmer, this kid, 21 years of age, steps up in injury time after a great game, just individually, from the spot to put Chelsea on as even with Man City after leaving City amid some acrimony this past summer. And he looks so cool and calm. I loved it. It was just, listen, I'm no skin in this game apart from being a Liverpool fan. I want to see City drop points, which maybe there was some skin in the game in that regard. but no love lost for Chelsea and what they're doing. But to see that kid step up, and you were saying he's probably their best signing.
I think so. I think
all those
he's played
$80 million
every
signings.
game this season. And half of these guys haven't. I mean, goodness gracious, we haven't even seen Christopher Nkunku come in yet.
Good point.
That
I
one,
forgot about him.
yeah, I mean, that's going to be massive in January for Chelsea. They need him for sure. But yeah, Cole Palmer, great. That penalty as well that you mentioned, taking it over Raheem Sterling, who he was always second to at Man City. And now, you know what I mean? Like, there were so many good storylines
And roofed it too.
Yeah,
Didn't just scribble over the line.
Yeah.
He was emphatic with that.
Yeah, confident, like you said. So, no, you love to see it. And I'll also piggyback on that. I think my second love would be actually seeing Chelsea compete. And not because I'm a Chelsea fan, not even any of that, but I'm here for more teams playing better football. I'm here for a title race. So I'm happy to see them, because that Tottenham game, I don't think we could take anything from that. You're playing against 9 men. I don't care if you win 10-0. That doesn't, of course, you should win that much.
Well, the pressure was on there. They weren't playing well despite being 2 men up.
Exactly. So now seeing them play against the best team in the league, let's be serious, in a 4-4 match, I think that it shows that the potential is there, and maybe, just maybe, we are seeing them finally turn that corner.
Yes. I think we sat on these very couches and said that, though, before. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think they are. They're buying into Pochettino. And that's the thing. If it was a different manager, you could say, yeah, well, we'll wait and see. But he is a very, very good coach.
Yeah.
He's going to get this thing turned around at some point. So maybe this is a moment. We're gonna find out. By the way, who is your Premier League team? You're obviously Barca through and through. I'm not saying you have a team per se, but if you got to choose a team in the Premier League, who do you kind of skew towards?
Yeah, I think I've told you guys this because you really hate my answer, but I think I'd say Arsenal, only because they've had so many players and transfers with Barcelona. And also, they used to play a more similar kind of style to Barcelona, like lots of possession, lots of like tiki-taka passing and whatnot. It's changed obviously now, but there's just been a lot of players that have played for both.
I think Cesc Fabregas,
Thierry Henry, Alex
Song.
Song, your favorite player, Alexis Sanchez. And also we're talking about some like very big players. Not just Alex Songs. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe that's it, but like I really don't have a Premier League team. So that could be the only reason. I'm happy to see Pep do well, to be fair, but I hate the idea of City naturally just with how much they spend. So yeah, you can't.
Did Alex Hleb go to Barca? Hleb?
I don't know.
You know,
we might have to look that up.
I know it's with Arsenal. I can just picture him for some reason in an Arsenal, in a Barca kit. Let's have a look here. Alex Hleb.
Oh, the phlegm.
You got to include the phlegm.
Hleb.
All right, so look here. All right, here's Alexander Hleb. He did not play for Barcelona. Oh, no, he did. He did. 4 years. You don't remember Alex Hleb at Barcelona?
Well, it's
2008 to 2012. But within then, he was on loan at a lot of clubs.
Yeah,
Stuttgart,
okay. So
Birmingham,
how many
Wolfsburg.
appearances does he have for Barcelona?
For Barca, 19.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really.
He went from Barca in 2012 to Krylia Servatov Samara.
Perfect.
What the hell is that? Russian Premier League.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently. And then so he was in Arsenal for 3 years, 05 to 08. Then went to Barcelona. Didn't work out for him. After then, he went to Krylia. Then Bate Borisov, Konyaspor.
Are these all Russian teams? They sound quite Russian.
Turkey as well, right?
Ooh.
I think Konyaspor is Turkey, isn't it? Yep. And then Gençlerbirliği, Turkey. Back to Bate Borisov. He spent a lot of time in Turkey. There you have it.
There you have it. And that's the story of Alex Hleb.
That's Alex. I did not expect to be talking about Alex Hleb on this show, but here we are.
Neither.
He was a good player.
Yeah.
Not for Barca.
Not
obviously.
for Barca.
No.
Yeah.
Staying with the Chelsea match.
Yeah.
The shiny crest they have on their shirts. I think it's great. I love that.
Yeah.
It looks so nice, and the way the light hits it, it kind of comes out different colours.
It does.
It's just
like
nice.
Pinkies and stuff. Yeah. No, it's good. It's Chelsea are one of those teams where they have their OG kind of blue, so they kind of switched it up a bit there. But because their away jerseys of late have been shocking.
Right, there's a lot of shocking away jerseys.
Oh, it's like whenever you see like a fourth kit, you're just like that.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Trying
like,
too hard.
Please, like in what world? Like, come on, surely we can figure it out between these two teams that you have 3 each. You don't need to be wearing.
Yeah, but even like Newcastle's away kit, the green, I still can't get my head around that.
I didn't realize I was watching a Newcastle game. Like I like looked away for a bit and then came back and I had to like look at the actual because I was like, what?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
We know why they're doing it because of Saudi Arabia. That's why they're doing it, but I don't like it.
No, me neither. Chelsea had that lime green last year that had like the weird like I
the
just
squiggles in it.
nah.
Even Liverpool's away kits are odd this year.
You guys had like a McDonald's uniform a couple of years ago. The green with like the beige.
That's
like it was
right.
really bizarre looking.
There's some bad ones.
Yeah. But yeah, the shiny crest is
nice.
it's a nice touch.
I think
It's not too crazy.
No, it's not too crazy,
Just
right? It's subtle enough.
Yeah.
With a little bit of ostentatiousness. Subtlety and ostentation. I know
They
she
need
can do
it.
that as
They need
oxymoron, but
They need it. They got to be
they
confident.
do. It's a good looking shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm not a shirt guy. Just so you know, I'm not
That's
a shirt
true,
guy.
actually.
But no. Don't look good in shirts.
No.
So why would I buy them? Simple as that. And more love coming your way from somewhere?
Aston Villa. Love that they're keeping it going. What, they're 5th right now? Are they 5th?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm super happy about
Bouncing
that.
back.
Bouncing back because, I mean, we'll get to one of my hates in a bit, being Brighton. But yeah, we've seen the way they're doing. Newcastle as well, a bit tricky for them managing all this football. But Aston Villa, like, really love seeing them do well. I love, like I said, the title race. I'm happy another team is up there competing for European contention. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I'm with you. More love for me. I'm going to pick from the Brighton game. The Simon Adingra goal. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Great run,
Fair
just
shout.
skewering through 3 or 4 defenders, the old give and go, and finds a goal. I thought, oh, Brighton's back. We'll wait until the hate for later.
Shock.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
They tied up. Blades shown fight as well. Those promotion clubs are actually shown fight, in fairness.
No, it's
right?
great. It's good.
They're probably still going down, but...
It's a weird one. Like, I feel like this season, there's still the top teams that are at the top still, but like even teams like Tottenham finally competing for the first time in a while. Like you said, the bottom teams like Luton giving it a go. I mean, Sheffield drew Brighton. What are we doing? Like, I know it was an own goal. We'll get to it, but like there are so many teams that are really playing football and competing, and it's exciting. Will it last? We'll find out.
It's still early, Sarah.
It's still
As we keep saying, it's still early.
Yeah.
Can we give some love to James Ward-Prowse's deliveries?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, again, he's, I forget, 9 involvements so far this season, I believe it is. There's no one better from a set piece than James Ward-Prowse.
Sorry, did he get called this time?
No.
Gareth Southgate, I'm speaking to you right now. You got to do something about this. Like, this is just insulting.
There's a piece in The Athletic this week about James Ward-Prowse and breaking down all his numbers and saying, yeah, he is beyond compromise with set piece deliveries. But outside of that, he's very one-dimensional. His open play isn't actually that great, and he ranks quite low. So the article talks about they try to replace Declan Rice with 2 players, one of whom being James Ward-Prowse. And he's providing that half of Declan Rice, but the other half is not coming close to. So if you read the article, and we'll talk about it again on Friday, because it's really interesting. It kind of made me sad a little bit, because I love James Ward-Prowse as well, but he isn't the all-encompassing box-to-box midfielder of that level. But man, what a weapon to have.
Yeah. I mean, on the bench, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. Yeah, true. Madison's out.
Madison's out.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's but just watching him deliver, it's just a weird kind of delivery. So unique. I don't know why more guys don't try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a joy to watch.
A joy to watch.
Do you have any more loves, or do you want to get to your hates after the break?
Hate.
Yeah, you've got so much hate in your heart.
I hate.
All right, let's take a break.
Yeah.
And then when we return, we'll get to what we hated this week in the Premier League and around football. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win. I've got to mention before we continue with the hate. Now, Friday we talked about Pep Guardiola and being a guy that you wouldn't mind having a beer with, the pre-match Pep.
Yeah, pre-match Pep.
I loved his pre-match press conference on the weekend. He's talking about Doku over Grealish. He goes, I just woke up in the morning and decided it's Doku rather than Grealish. Not sure I believe him necessarily.
No, definitely not.
But he was happy, kind of almost jovial, have a beer with Pep. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree. Post-match, I'm not too sure.
No.
Especially after that game.
Exactly. He said the right things, though. He wasn't too crabby post-match, but he said the right things. But I wouldn't want to have a beer with him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
Not happening. All right, let's get to some real hate here.
Okay, let's talk about that game then.
Okay, sure.
Because I think that game overall was really exciting. And it almost stayed about the football the whole time. But my hate is, this is week 709 that we're talking about VAR again in the Premier League. And I'm so tired of it. I hate that it still has a bit of a storyline from a game that was really good football. Two of the biggest teams in England. I really wish that we could have just stayed away, but of course the narrative, the Haaland penalty, they should have brought VAR in, all this stuff.
It was a pen though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but still, I just hate that it's taking away, and it has been for so long, and it's a serious issue in the Premier League that they have to figure out sooner than later, because if they don't, this is going to be us every week.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you.
Every week.
I was waiting for that to become the story, and it became a story for sure. And the whole Anthony Taylor narrative as well, And I mean, for me, it was a penalty, but it's one of those calls that could have gone either way. If you're a Chelsea fan, you hate VAR for it. If you're a City fan, I know they got it about right.
Yeah.
So it was, again, just do away with VAR, please.
Yeah.
They won't, and that's the problem, because up until that point, VAR had a pretty good weekend by its low standards.
Finally, I know, and then it's
and then that happened.
Yeah.
And there was enough conjecture that you could criticize it, and it took so long. So I'm with you. Just get rid of it. I like just blaming the referees and referees only, rather than blaming some disembodied, non-voice drawing lines in a box at Stockley Park. I don't want that.
I think with the refs, when we used to blame them when they were before VAR and stuff, you still could say okay, yeah, it's the ref's fault for sure. But the argument there is that they are only human. They will make mistakes.
Yeah.
So it won't be as, frustrating as getting it wrong with VAR when you literally have all the technology to help. But the people that are making these calls...
That's right. It's not the VAR itself.
No, it's not.
It's the implementation of the laws by the humans.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, if we already have human error, let's just get rid of all of this, because we're also... How long are these games getting?
I know.
Oh, my goodness. I think bars... it's... No.
But you can't disinvent things, right? Nuclear warheads are awful things. You can't disinvent them. They're here to stay.
VAR can be invented,
VAR is even more
but
awful.
it doesn't have to be used. Same with
deterrent.
Nuclear
we'll
weapons.
use VAR unless you get your asses together here.
Yeah, no, but truly, you don't have to use it. I don't know. I'm really interested to see, though, how this gets sorted out, because it's bad. The refereeing in the Premier League is bad right now.
You hear Roberto De Zerbi's comments? He said that he dislikes 80% of English referees. He said it post-match. He goes, just the way it is. I dislike 80% of them. This coming a week after Arteta was saying how ashamed he is, how appalling the refereeing is. Then he kind of backtracked this week, though, mind you. But it's a problem. There's no doubt it's a problem. And before VAR, refereeing was a problem as well. But it is a tough game. It's as simple as that. It's a hard game to referee. And all the bloody coaches and players, they're all always in every league are trying to cheat and lie and con the referees. So when they come out there and criticize referees, I'm like, what? You've been trying to cheat him the entire goddamn game every single week for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Faking injuries, diving, flopping, raising your hand every time a goal goes in, just in case it's offside, even though you know it's not offside.
That's so funny.
Oh, it drives me crazy,
it's
Sarah.
The initial, and I'm like, in what world? In what world? But you see them do
It's automatic.
It's almost like they're trained to do it now. It's such a funny thing in football, because that was not a thing. It must be.
I don't know how there are still referees being trained and created. Who wants to be a referee?
Oh yeah.
Really? I don't know. Who are these people? Because I don't know any referees.
Psychopaths.
They have to be psychopaths.
They have to be. Can you imagine being it's not
masochists at the very least.
Yeah.
They enjoy the pressure, enjoy the pain.
I mean, I don't know. They get life-threatening messages for sure. I mean, referees have been killed. That's.
I mean, thank God there are referees. And listen, I'm a referee supporter. I always generally try and back the referee, but why would you want to become one?
I've no clue. I guess someone has to do it.
Because there's always someone, right? There's a proctologist, right? Let's be honest. Yeah.
Not again.
You could be a doctor of any specialty, and I chose the arts.
There's such...
Right? So there's always someone. But thank God we have them.
Yeah. I mean, the ones in the Prem, too, are getting paid.
The proctologists? The Premier League proctologists?
No. No. But you know they're getting paid well, the rest.
Decent, but are they paid enough? I bet they're not paid enough.
Yeah.
It used to be that they have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Only fully professional last number of years.
But you're in the Premier League. Like, I think that's the thing. It's like we talk about the Premier League that, like, it's the best league in the world. It's the biggest. But the refereeing has been so poor. And I think that's the biggest takeaway that so many coaches, players, pundits, anyone are saying this. They're like, we have standards and they're not, like, matching.
I'm with you. All right, moving on to some more hate. I had VAR as my hate as well, by the way. My first one there. The international breaks here.
Oh, you hate
There's
it.
some hate. I love international football, but it seems there's so many breaks this season as we're getting some real momentum in the Prem. We're just saying what a great season it's been so far. And once again, it stops and halts for what? There aren't that many great games. I mean, listen, qualifying for Euro and Copa America are exciting. World Cup, of course.
Yeah, so
it's great.
That's what I'll be looking forward to because Uruguay plays Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one. But besides that one, yeah, it's pretty grim. Spain have already qualified, so I'm happy with that. But, like, yeah, England and Malta, like you're saying, they need 1 point. They should probably get it.
Canada play Jamaica on Friday and Tuesday.
Yeah,
big games
that bring intrigues because they obviously missed an international break not too long ago. So is this their first match?
No, they played, I'm trying to think. No, they played last. There's been a match since that missed window. And my brain shut down completely.
They played football. They played football.
They played football. They had a full squad out, remember?
We're looking.
It was like a month ago. It was the last window they played.
And that was the first game without Herdman?
Yeah. Biella. It was, why can't I? Oh, Japan.
Oh my God, yeah, they got smashed like I said they would.
It was smashed.
Oh, they were
mangled, right? So it's a big game. Big game coming up against Jamaica. And of course, at the horizon is Copa America qualification. Yeah. It's big.
Yeah.
Now, there's a way to qualify even if they don't go through this way.
No, they got to do well after that. Japan. Wow, we really just fully forgot about that.
Yeah. That was good reason.
Yeah, they need to do well. That'll be good for the international break. But yeah, I do agree with you. The stoppage and the amount of injuries we're already seeing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's so much football to be played. And then they have to travel and they have to come back and then jump right back into it. Like, listen, I'm with Jurgen Klopp. This is nuts.
Yep, you got to sort it out.
Yeah.
Any more hate from the weekend?
Oh, yes, Brighton, of course. It pains me because I want them to do well, but they just keep screwing up one way or another. And they're still a really good team, but I think they should be doing better than kind of what they are. I get it. It was an own goal in the end. Like, sometimes luck isn't on your side, but it's been, a couple weeks now where they just...
It's been more than that. It's winless in 6, I think it is, in the league. This is a slump. It's officially a slump now.
It's a slump. Yeah. I mean, we were talking 4-4-2 picks, but we both had Brighton winning. Who wouldn't have Brighton being Sheffield? Like,
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not
late
pleased.
draw.
I'm not
late draw. I also have a hate for seeing Spurs lose. Again, great for Wolves and good for them. Like, they're a good team, Wolves.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, like in injury time now, and just Big Ange, who we all just love. He's the guy we're going for beers with. We asked, can this team get over the adversity of the injuries and the suspensions? And they held on. They were gutsy. They were playing hard for their manager. But I didn't like... I don't want to see Spurs win the Prem because I'm a Liverpool fan. But if not Liverpool, I would love to see Spurs win it. I don't think they will this year. There's too many good teams, including, of course, Man City, the best of the bunch. But I don't want to see them decline just yet. Let's sit and crash out late in the season, and then we can, talk about, what a season it was. But Big Ange, give him a few more weeks of Ange ball.
Yeah.
That was tough.
No, that was really tough. I mean, they went up in the first 3 minutes. 2 minutes, I think. They scored so early. Let's go. They're going to be fine. And then 2 goals from Wolves in 90-plus minute. Just like, listen, for Wolves, it's great. They're kind of on the up and up.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I completely agree with you. I've enjoyed watching Spurs do well, Ange do well, the way they play football. But, listen, if they're going to lose to Wolves that are, like I said, kind of doing well, and It's the last few minutes, and it's like, it's not the worst way to lose with everything that's going on this team.
Right.
So I'm hoping
they showed fight, didn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did not give up. They didn't play terribly. I'm hoping that's the takeaway they take from it and keep it positive and just focus on what they got to do.
That Lemina's a player, isn't he? For Wolves.
Yeah.
He's tasty.
Yeah. Tasty.
He's a tasty player. So, yeah, good for Wolves. Sad, though, for Spurs. All right, it's time for a break.
Yeah.
Let's get to these 4-4-2 picks, shall we, when we get back? Oh. Man, it's getting tough.
It's getting rough.
Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win. Time now to dissect our 442picks.ca. Another challenging weekend for myself, James Sharman, and Sarah Pararia. Where do you want to start with this one, Sarah?
Well, first of all, me and you had the exact same score this week, the exact same wins. We almost, I'm sure, picked the same thing. But here we go. I'm going to focus on that Man City-Chelsea game because I did have Man City winning. I think most people would have. But you know what? It was a great game. I'm happy with this. I'd rather this be the football we're watching and whatnot. And they drew. They didn't play terribly, but good for Chelsea. Waking up, maybe turning a corner.
They're in lots of danger, Sarah, because now it's an international break. When we return for 442 picks, we're going to think, oh yeah, Chelsea, they're legit, they're for real, and they could let us down. There lies a danger because that was a crazy game.
Yeah,
but one of the great games I've seen in recent memory for sure. Yeah. I'm going to single out Tottenham.
Yeah,
Tottenham, who, despite all the injuries and the concerns about the suspensions and how will they cope with all those players missing, they hang tough. They held on 1-0 to the very, very end against a good Wolves team at Wolves, and then 2 goals at the death in extra time for Wolves, and they find the win. Spurs lose. Spurs finally lose. That was a tough one, and just started the weekend off in a bad way for our 442 picks. It was painful, but hey, listen, good for Wolves. Too bad for Spurs. This is a very unpredictable season, and we're seeing Albert Vertanian get slowly closer and closer to Sarah and myself, but still is Pararia very much in first place, bossing it overall, and it is still early. 442picks.ca. It's free to enter. Loads of money available, including potentially a grand prize of $250,000. Sign up now. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.